Yes.
Good to go. So hi everyone, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on another edition of our Spark-based coaching session. This is the second session for today, and we have our coach here with us to speak with the ladies on partnership, Moses Moore. Thank you so much, Moses, for joining us again today. We're super excited, and I know the ladies are looking forward to hearing from you. So Naren, could you go ahead and introduce the ladies? And of course yourself, because it's been a while. You actually coordinated.
Okay. Thank you. So I'm Naren. I think, yeah, I'm Naren, the coach here in Zambia for Spark. So with me, we're supposed to have 5 ladies. So 3 are on their way coming. They will join us soon. I have Bridget Manamunga. She does cosmetics. That's her business. She's been in the business for 7 years. And then here I have Imelda. She sells rugs. I think secondhand doormats. Yeah, she does secondhand doormats and sells at the market.
Sorry, I didn't hear you say she does what?
Imelda.
Yeah, the second lady.
Imelda sells rugs, doormats.
Oh, doormats.
Yes.
Okay.
She sells these doormats.
Ah,
So
okay.
she brought one for me to buy. Nice.
Nice. Nice. Maybe you finally help her take care of the side of posting it on your social media to create some kind of partnership. And then for everyone that she sells through you, she will give you maybe like 1 or 2 kwacha so that you'll be
No,
motivated.
she's supposed to keep some nice doormat when she opens the bell for me, because I'll be advertising for her.
Yeah, but whatever the case is, maybe she would use it she'll convert it to tokens. And for everyone she will sell, or she sells through you, it turns into a token. And that token is what she would use to give you a new doormat if you sell enough.
Yes.
But yeah, today we'll be discussing partnership. And I think that it's a very, very huge part of business. And some of the oldest businesses across the globe, including the likes of KFC, Walmart, Costco, even the big FMCGs that we know today, Unilever, PZ, and a bunch of others are built on partnership. Partnership for a business kind of like allows you grow faster than you can do alone. So today we'll be discussing partnerships generally. We define partnerships. We discuss how partnership can help you in your type of business. And since there are just 2 of you, we would play 2 scenarios for each of you in your businesses as well, and how you can use partnerships to grow. For which one of them is one of the cases that Naren is going to be doing for you, which is using your doormats to get more customers through her channel for you. But basically, it's a form of partnership. So partnership generally, by very simple layman's definition, it's an agreement between 2 people to execute a particular function for which both parties participate and benefit. Phones today, Samsung produces the motherboard, but they actually do not produce the chips, some of the chips in the motherboard. They actually do not produce some of the RAMs that they use on their devices. Some of these RAMs are produced by a different company in China who they are making sure that those chips and those RAMs are available for the phones. But these are typical hardware partnerships that you would find. Then when you look at FMCG, so manufacturing and all the likes, with other farmers and exporters and importers who supply them the raw materials that they use for this produce. Then in your own case, for you who does doormats, the person who supplies you your raw material is a partner here. If you have a different level of selling where it is that you drop your doormat in a person's shop and the person else you sell it, that person is a partner. For you as well, who does cosmetics, if at some point you begin to feel like do labeling, somebody will do the label for you. Sorry, I have to go pick up something. Just give me a minute.
Okay. Okay. So then the appreciate.
Narine, you can actually like discuss what we have.
Hi.
I'm just giving him a second. I think his network ticked off.
Okay, so let me just translate what you say.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so let's get the partnership. Right? So with the tools that the partnership, I'm gonna buy a form of partnership, how we can form partnership, the challenges, the familiar. So what even for example, let's say my company is gonna be a yeah, that's partnership. Maybe KFC right? The unity, the once baja enough of the unity, but it's formed the tender one unity. So that's it that is the community only the partnership. Now you need the community, minimum station, the partnership. Pasa example si bese mga pamene na kambile ngule do mache pamene na mene za gura naenda naisha posti pa page yangu au nileta kwa customers na hai banganuze sisi mwanga pesa na customers na wewe sisi kazi kulisa kukanya kwa customer bali five imwese tidonga tindo kusani kwa ndio kulisa kwa 75 kuzimwambia jirani kama customer zaidi by unaona both sides so akamweleza kuingiza lazima nilete partnership wanatungaishi create kusifa kwa business ila upata bila imwe ba budget na state partner sima bila start so ndio between that which battu ba Moses bati kunzise community za create partnership community za ina so that na business yake shikani ya kude support. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So having stated that definition, right? Is there or are there any areas that you guys think you currently employ partnership in your businesses? So I'll start with you who does cosmetics. How do you think that right now you actually employ partnership in doing your business? Okay. Let me see if you understand our definition.
So mungashikilia branch partnership. Mimi partnership ya mimi ndio kuna ni branch. Business. Business ni ya cosmetics. Kulingana na ndio partnership ni kuteleza pamoja na mwingine na mke. So it's business yani. So ni muona muda pia ni kuteleza. Munga create partnership point. So ni wapo kwanza mimi naomba kumchukua kwenye sketi business yani kule ndio possible. Bana ni very hizo very interesting points. And then you have from a really many music of any no down Okay. Okay, so for Bridget, she's saying since she has for a business because we want to partner with the, let's say a big shop which supplies the products that she sells, the lotions, the soap, so that her business and she can be having more products. Thank you.
Okay, great. How about Madam at the back? How do you explore partnership at the moment?
Okay. So for her, she's saying the partnership that she look into once is where maybe she has someone who can be buying from her when she opens a bill, buying from her in bulk, and then she goes and resells somewhere else. So she can get at the exact price that she's selling, or at least on a minimum price and reduce, so that she orders a lot and take them out there in the community, whatever that she says, and she resell them.
Awesome. So I think both of you clearly understand what partnership looks like. But when you then look at, just like every other area of your business, partnership typically is that multiplier engine that helps you sort of move from point 1 to point 5 without having to run all the steps on your own. One typical example is if you who does doormat is able to increase the number of wholesalers you have, then you have been able to increase the amount of people who are able to sell what you sell in multiple areas without having to, for you to go open shops in those areas. And I take for an instance, if you get to the point where within your state or within your county, I don't know how you label your states in your country, you are able to find 5-10 wholesalers. This means that you only need to have one shop, but in effect, you have 5 other shops. Because the only way those people get supply is that they come to you to get their own supplies. And so long as they can trust you, they can always come back. That partnership will last for a long, long, long time, right? Now, you can go from opening 1 bill a week to opening 5 bills a week because you have increased the amount of people who come to buy top bills from you. It goes from 1 to 5 to 10 to 15 to 20, and you no longer have to worry about the individual buyer who comes to buy 1 doormat or 2 doormats. You now sell only 5 or 10. You sell 20, you sell 30, and that's how businesses grow a lot faster. I was speaking about businesses who have used partnerships in the past to actually scale their businesses across continents. And the KFC brand is one of them. They call it franchising, right? They have the KYC in the US, and then they meet a guy who is willing to bring KYC to Zambia. He just goes, he signs a partnership with KYC in America. He tells them how much he gives them every year. And then he takes the brand and goes to replicate it in Zambia. And all he needs to do is remit the money to KYC in the US every year. And all that is done. They don't have to, KYC does not have to come and open a new shop, sign a new agreement, get documents. All of that does not concern the KYC anymore. It's the same thing for all of you, for those of you who do this type of business that you do. You look at it as a small business, but in the real sense of it, the only thing that can help you grow from selling 1 item a day to selling 20 a day is that you find as many partnerships as possible so that you are able to distribute a lot faster. When you think about this entire logic and how it applies to economics, right? The economics of scale. In order to scale a business, you have to be able to sell a lot faster. The margins will be lower, but because of the quantity, you would make 4 or 5 times what you would make if you were selling in the quantity of 1, right? I'll give you an instance. say you sell this doormat and you were making a profit of maybe 5%, right? Your profits for every bill you open, 5%. Then you now choose to start doing wholesale. Your profit now reduces to 20, 10 wholesalers, right? Who then increases your, right now you only do like 2 wholesalers, you now increase it to 20. So that's 10 times the number of people that used to come and take this from you. You have increased the number of people by 10. This means that if you were making 5% of the profits at the time when it was like, so let's say the 5% of the production is a profit of each sale is 5 kwacha. When you begin to do wholesale, it goes down to 2.5 kwacha, right? For that 5 kwacha, if you sell 2 bills a month, it will be 10 kwacha, right? Correct? Now, when you now increase the amount of wholesalers you're on board and it becomes 10, and then you are now making a profit of 2.5 kwacha, what would then happen is that you now multiply the 2.5 by 10. What would it be? 25. So in the real sense of it, without having to do a lot of mechanics around opening a new shop in a new county, in a new village, in a new town, in a new city, you have just increased your profits by 2.5 times if you actually were working as hard as you were working when you were doing only 2 wholesalers. So in the real sense of it, partnerships is the way to go. And you have to like find a way to, apply the same logic. When you take more money, more responsibility comes. It means that you have to pay back that money. So you have to make more money. The only way to make more money is to find people who would come and take more from you, who would consume more from you, so that you can actually like buy more, reduce your margins, and then make more money in the end, right? The same thing applies for you who does cosmetics, the same logic as well. Regardless of when you think about it and you say, oh, I'm not making as much money from each sale like I was before. When you look at the bulk sale, the wholesale of everything that you finally will sell, when you have like multiple shops that you said your soaps and your creams and all whatnot to, you would understand that there is way more money that you are potentially going to make by just dropping your margin, increasing the quantity that you sell every month or every week. And then in the real sense of it, you are making 3 times, 4 times what you really make without having to do all the heavy hustle. Because truth be told, when you begin to sell larger quantities, you would even get to the point where the actual wholesalers who sell to you would not mind coming to drop it at your place. So the transportation and all those hassle that you have to do, it would also reduce, right? So when you think about it, you're actually going to be making more money. Stress is a lot more reduced, but then you have to also be able to think a lot faster. You move with market trends. What's happening now, and how do I sell more of it? Sorry, Shami, can you please mute your channel? Or Barbara, if you can mute Shami's channel, it's quite noisy.
Okay. I done that.
All right, great, thanks. So yeah, just helping you do some small maths, right? To help you show that when your margin reduces as you sell a lot more, you are not really losing. You are making a lot of money, you're making a lot of profit, you are growing a lot faster, and you are scaling your business so that you can take on more money, right? But have the understanding from day one that with more money comes more responsibility. Yeah? So, Nareen, if you could, I think, break it down a lot more than I have. Thanks.
Well, I think, okay. Chishowe kutimiza what partnership is. So and then mulina muntu amenya aboda mwankana nawo babiri batatu Imagine the cost $100 a day or week or month. Because the family and the family is the lower team kupaka nyama chawana or mungwa or eshe or imamzanga che basi watu boda bapeleka kujenga ni demand. So the more demand is there, the more money the mzanga na kuzunga boda family. So in those men mpaka many actually identified babili batatu wabatu bamela sisi kama zini odako wakazigura ko yambi nemwenda kuku kujisa nichimozi naye bakozi ngati mwavika kozi imwe yanu ingangala kwetu so that nabena ngwani bali tuwono bakura tushani baboko nda kozi demo bawo da in the set depend isa ka lotion kamozo ka chip kamozo katakaitwa ndio kuuza yambi sasa mimi ndio mtu mmoja mimi ndio mtu mmoja ndio mtu mmoja basi kama kwa mwana nyama sizalizesha but then mtu mmoja so it means you mdakala na more it's a join da they say 25 watts mzambo ndio da 100 watts kwa sababu ya bora munga ina bora yani bakamba awe munga ina kama sana nisingati inaweza kuwa kile yani save maana so hizi job branch ya 25 months na kuja watu wangapi badi save meaning vienda fast so hiyo line ya mitigating number the correct way and one way of partnership na yeye yametinga organize kupi kiambo 7 zinamoja kama bills ya ndio pesa kwa mnyamka tawa nikachukua shopping yangu ukanyama nikachukua shopping yangu kumembwa na basi na mando alikuwa hapo kuna ndio kukulisana kuja yeye ai okay thank you over to you.
All right, thank you. So one good thing that the internet has also done for us is that it has made partnership a lot easier. Today you would see people who resell items from China, right? And then they go post it on their WhatsApp group. They are not the ones importing it. They just have a couple of people who import in large quantity and sell to them at a discounted rate. So what the internet has done in that case is that it has helped the person who is able to say manage the logistics for the customers to be able to reach out to more people, but then have a lot of people everywhere, across the entire space, who then are able to like onboard their own customers. So while they are reaching out to their customers and saying, oh, I have this doormat, this color, that color, and they are reselling it, they are not the ones who are stocking it. You are stocking it for them. And all they just need to do is connect to that customer and you manage shipping. So in that sense, the guy who has a lot of contacts on their WhatsApp, who has a lot of follows on their Instagram, is now making a lot of money from you. But your job there is that you are helping that person grow your business through them, but also making money through a channel that you do not even understand how it works. That part does not concern you. So long as you can manage logistics, you have a logistics partner who makes sure that the shipping is done, and the person just needs to let the customer know the price, get the customer's address, the customer pays, you get paid, the item is shipped directly to the person without you interacting with that person at all. But these are like simple partnerships that the internet has made easy. And they can happen, small partnerships like this can happen over WhatsApp, can happen over Instagram. And it is also quite important that no matter how relative your business is to physical interaction, you have to also find a way to explore digital partnerships, right? So your customers who are, either younger, a lot younger than you are, but are also more internet savvy and are able to like interact with more people than you would, you can tell them the opportunity of them getting this thing for half the price that they would get it now. And like I said, instead of making a higher profit, you make lower profits, but you sell more, right? And then most of the work of you having to go and be doing sales by yourself, going to the market every day, you probably don't have to do and you could be in your house and doing your sale, right? And you'll be selling a lot more than you were when you were having to be going to the shop every day and coming back home and all whatnot. So generally, right, when you think about partnership, in those days, everybody needed to sign a document, go to an office to go and do sales and all whatnot. These days, it's a lot easier. Just having a model that kind of like helps a Nareen receive a foot mat and then speak about it on our social media and have people who ask her, do you have purple of this mat? And she asks you, sorry, do you have purple of this mat? And you say yes. She says, yes, I have it. And then she says, they ask her how much, and then she says, oh, this is the amount. This is the shipping price. She sends it back to you, sends her address, and you ship it down to that person. Nareen makes her profit off the margin. And then you generally have just sold one extra foot mat to somebody who you have never met, right? These are partnerships you have to explore, but there's importance in, yes, I know that like some of you are older than some others, some of you you're trying to build your business around it. Yeah. So yeah, these are like things that you basically, I think, Nareen, like I said in some other meetings that we've had, after such conversations, that you are able to like take them through hands-on training on how some of the things will work, how business models can be built out of this, so that they basically go from, just a mom and pop shop into actually having a digital business alongside their mom and pop shop, and can actually like scale without the hassle. And even when they take money from Spark, they are able to repay because they have built so much channels, so much funnels for them to be able to sell a lot faster, make a lot more money, make more profits than they would think that they would make. And when you think about the difference between some of us who went through education and some who didn't, is that the logic of people thinking when you reduce your profits and you sell more, you are not making enough money. And then they want to sell more but still keep their price high. This is something you have to also teach them on how they could actually like reduce their prices, sell more, right? So that they sell faster and onboard more people who can actually like sell at the same price. So let's take for an instance, right? They were selling that format for 15 kwacha per one. Out of that, they were making 10%, which is 1.5 kwacha. When they reduce it and begin to make 0.75 kwacha, they basically would stay at that level. Now, if you were going to resell for her, you will resell it at 5% profit instead of 10% that she would naturally make, because she has sold to you at a 5% discount. So what you would sell to that customer would be the same price that she would sell to that customer. So in the real sense of it, if a customer asks you and say, do you have this done, and she sees it on her own shop, she would understand that it's the same price. She will look at it as even the same price. And in the real sense of it, even as a reseller yourself, you can actually like still reduce your price because there's enough space, right? But then thinking about it, if she didn't understand this mathematics, she would think that there's an avenue to keep that profit and then still sell more. I think it is impossible, right? Because the market becomes more competitive, the more you begin to sell and it reaches more people. People now say, people are buying these things, let me go and buy and sell too, right? And in that sense, this is like something that for you, it's something you have to like continuously educate these people on how to manage costing and pricing, basically, when it comes to wanting to grow and wanting to scale their businesses. And the understanding of discounts to resellers and resellers to their end customers, and helping the resellers do handle shipping and logistics and all of that details. I think they are all a lot of, what do I call it now? Logistic companies that can help with all of these fulfillments that, they can be introduced to, for them to actually like create a funnel through their businesses using the digital formats. Because I think that one or two of them, even in this group, if you were going to act generally, they are already thinking of opening a new shop somewhere, right? And I do think that it is an unnecessary thing to go and spend a loan on, right? You should instead explore a more sustainable format of increasing the scale of your business without having to pay new rent, right? And some of this logic are things that you have to expand, and 1 hour would not be enough. This is business school conversation. And 1 hour is usually not enough to be able to have this kind of conversations of telling them how to reduce fees, how to reduce profits, offer discounts, create a new layer of this reseller journey, and then help with logistics so that you actually like sell a lot more and make more profit from selling less, make a lot more profit from getting more immediate profits, basically, or immediate payouts, basically. So yeah, the onus is on you. You can take this on maybe with a larger crowd one day. You can just book them and everybody comes in and you just talk about the logic of, you know, pricing and costing and creating new sales channels and all whatnot through partnerships like this. Because if you look at the model that the Chinese people use today to be able to sell more their bulk goods, shoes, slippers, you will see a lot of them who are now selling on WhatsApp and the likes. That's what they do. They basically just go to China, produce a particular slippers, come to Nigeria, tell their resellers that they now have a new design. The resellers post on their WhatsApp group, people reach out to them, and then they start selling to those people. The guy who brought it is not making a lot of money from each item, but when he puts his money together for everything he has sold for that week, he's making 20 times what he was going to sell if he was just selling only one bulk, right? And this is something that it's business school conversation that you have to like teach these guys to understand, and not assume that when there are more people selling my goods, they will steal my business. Because usually that's the big problem, right? When there are more people selling what I sell, they will steal my business. It's not usually that way, and that's how big businesses are built. Being able to create more value across your value chain is the exact way you would increase, you know, your profit margins or increase your profits in the real sense of it and make a lot more money without spending so much on brick and walls and all whatnot that are actually like operational costs. So OPEX, basically. Operational expenditure, OPEX. Yeah, so yeah, if you could explain that, but I think that this is something you have to take out offline and have a larger group of people just to explain to them pricing, costing, business model design and all whatnot. Me and you can actually like set up a session where we discuss, you know, this separately, and we can take like 3 hours talking about it, so that you can then go and design a course that you can take on with them. I don't think our guys like myself who want to spend more than 1 hour talking about any particular topic. But for you, because you always interact with them, it would be something you could actually, and this back and forth with speaking English and speaking your language kind of like makes it a lot tougher for them to understand. But if the conversation was going on one single flow of one single language, it makes it quite easier for them to understand. So we could spend some time just talking about it. But I think that both this session I'm having right now and one that I had some time ago in the last cohort where I was available, there was the pure understanding that most of them always thought that when somebody else knows that I sell this thing and is able to sell for me, the person will one day steal my business. And it's a misconception in business that people who understand the logic of partnerships actually tap into and make a lot of money from. And people assume that they went to go and do money rituals or something like that. But the real sense of it is that they have understood what partnership does and how partnerships helps them get 20 shops by just only renting one shop, right? So if you have some time, just set up some time, maybe next week or something, or maybe by the time this cohort ends, set up some time, but I think this cohort, throughout the cohort, you probably be tied up. So when this cohort ends, before the next cohort starts, let's have a session where we just discuss this whole business model and pricing and costing and fulfillment. So logistics and fulfillment generally, so that you sit down and design a course that you would take with them, even if it's just like the very first course in the cohort, right? That you take with them to actually like explain to them how this whole thing works, that they don't have to make all the profit in one sale, right? And helping them understand the ripple effect of having 20 wholesalers as opposed to having just one, because it's just only one person to know your road, right? So that would a lot more make the course more, I don't know why I want to call it now, but more reachable, really. because you then will be able to spend more time talking to them, taking all their questions, and not all the breaks that we have right now by taking this course. This is not a course that you do in one. It's not a conversation you have in one. It's not a passion type of conversation that you have in one sitting or, or so. But basically, yeah, we can talk about it and just explain to them what I just said. But I mean, we should set up some time that we talk about this thing because it's a very, very important component for people who are taking money from people to actually do their businesses.
All right. Thank you. So, magandang gabi. Okay, so on partnership. So most men to say to make things easy, good is in a business in Naya, as any better business. The more name business can you. Now, I think it's not a change. For me, I'm going to say, I'm going to say, Mundo has a business, then you do that. But since one of China, you want to China. But when such a create maybe in WhatsApp Nadine was allowed to China from the speaker. Yes, with my items, just to compare them. Be shared details, other shared details. In a Garaka, they don't to like in that. Because then Uja or the Timor different one. Or that was a you know, the word for African individuals, no, I'm not so the I will. Who doesn't have a tower? Oh, yeah, so it's since you join it, stay now we still using I am a WhatsApp on my Facebook, but in the on a Thursday, or my meeting. And then I'm going to say, well, you're not in partnership, my business. On a this the day, or this the days of the yeah. I'm finding out more profit in business. Yeah, guys, especially yoga needs to make it so it's like shower. So I was in the floor and I'm not telling you what I do. So I'm happy. I'm really happy that they've understood the topic and the concept of the chain saving. So she's happy. She's saying, I think partnership, they putting money together or being in the same shop together, but this way it's more helpful. She wants to try, and she's going to try it with me. You see, I'm going to be a brand ambassador.
So I hope she does. You should probably create a follow-up with her to be sure. I say I hope she does, and you should probably create a follow-up to confirm that she doesn't.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll call her. I'll make sure. Yeah, the shop is just within Chawama and I stay near Chawama. So we'll go there and see the product and start the business.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I think with this conversation today, it's quite clear to myself and even to you, both that partnership is the way to go for your business. It's a great way to scale. By scale, I mean growing your business across your borders without having to spend a lot of money on the inconsequential things like shop space, like things that you shouldn't be spending money on, really. And I hope that you both are able to explore this. You have started already in some areas. You should go out and talk to a lot more people to onboard as wholesalers for yourself and as partners who help you resell your product so that you can actually sell a lot faster. But one thing you must always consider is that please find a model that does not allow you to give people things on credit, so that you don't have too much of your capital tied out and you're not able to get your money back. If there are vendors who would prefer that you provide them the items that they only give you back your money when you are done selling, your business is not at that stage. So please do not accept this kind of partnerships. So generally just build a partnership that works for your type of business, not one that would stifle your growth. Because the plan for your partnership is actually to grow, not to just have your goods out there without getting your money back, because you have to like reproduce or reacquire basically. So yeah, please go ahead and try out most of these things, but please do not do them on credit because it's not good for your business. It wouldn't help your business at this stage. Maybe at some point when you're a lot bigger and you have a larger capital margin, then you are able to like take on credits with customers who are trustworthy. But at the moment, nobody's trustworthy enough to give large stocks to. And I wish you all the best to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Naren, you want to translate before we go ahead and take the photo?
Okay, thank you. Upon your money, I think we are willing to try it. For business, you have to pay for stage, but the business coming up surprise that price. So that if you need to one was a bill as nothing the pasara from Mongolia and then you pay the when you business so let us create a partnership with someone that business when that goal. Manjilaniambi that is a partnership, but there's a person anyway. So seeing it's the one I'm expecting na business yako so that the business yako iende pasokoni chukua ni business kusachani kula so wakuishi nani all the best kuti business yanu iende pasokoni next time tukuna tawe ja partnership ya meta kumsaidia hapa ile namba kumsaidia pesa kwa na wiki ni pesa kwa mata na pesa kwa mebo ama ni thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you, Naren. So I guess we can go ahead and take our photo now. Or would you like to add any other thing, Moses?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Okay. All right, Naren. Put the ladies together.
I have 20. Okay. can smile. The topic was nice.
All right, please smile. Okay, I got it. Thank you very much, Moses. Thank you. So I would like to ask the meeting you would like to have, is it just with Narine or some other person?
No, it's I think more like Narine, who actually like speaks the language. Because I think it just makes it easy to kind of transfer that topic, the topic of actually them thinking about growth a lot more. I have not spoken to any one of the people from past cohorts to see how they have managed to spend the money that they have received. Most of them who have come to the conversation usually would always fulfill the agreement of showing up for all the meetings and making the head count to get in whatever it is. But I would also want to, speak with Narine also, because she could also extend the hand of doing some kind of investigation with people who have gotten from, 5 cohorts behind, right? To see those of them who, after getting money from Spark, were able to go ahead and get money from a bank or the other, and have been able to, grow their businesses on the basis of, or on the back of what they learned here. And I think that the argument of, trust and all those other things that we have within the curriculum of this Spark training, they are good, but they are not as important as what helps them scale, really. So yeah, why I'm only requesting Narine is that, she would be more involved with not just only the training, but also investigating further. So then I think it's something that she can then organize with. If there's anybody within the Spark team there in Zambia that wants to attend as well, then maybe we could extend that, but it's not going to be necessary for anyone who would not participate. Anyways, let me just open it to anybody who is like a staff of Spark who is interested and wants to explore the idea. It would be nice to actually like talk to them, because you don't want to. I own a recovery company, and I know one of the biggest problems SMEs have with collecting loans is that some of them collect the loan with the idea that they want to spend it on their business, but none of them thinks about the growth that would come from it and how they manage it, and how to continuously stay relevant within their business field, right? And this is something that Spark has to also consider when thinking about giving this money to these people, because some of them want to really grow genuinely. And because they wouldn't have access to a university, an extra university degree or a business school program, there has to be a lot of handholding even after the program, right? After these entire cohorts that we do, so that they continuously grow. And at some point, you will be surprised that some of these women would also be people who would provide money to Spark to be able to give to other people like them. But you have to prepare them for that space. And that mind shift does not happen in one day. This lady has been doing this business for 7 years. I'm sure the other one at the back probably has been doing it for more than 5-10 years as well. But if they have not grown to be bigger than this, then there's a problem that you have to solve. Right? And you can't solve it from, I don't know how long this cohorts last, but you can't solve it in one cohort that is like 3 months. It doesn't have, there's this adage in my language, I say they learn left hand for all day. So like if you are a right-handed person, you don't learn how to write with your left in your 60s, right? You don't change a character in 1 day or in 2 days. So generally, these are things that you have to continuously monitor. And that's why I also told you, with the lady who says she's going to go and explore, you have to continuously ask. You have to create a method that ensures that you be in the know with them, right? Because at some point, Spark will not be able to fund these programs anymore, right? They have to be able to be at the position where they can actually continue to fund. But you have to prepare them for it. Like all of this 3 weeks program, 1 month program, 3 months program, without any further handholding, they would pay the first debt, but they would not be able to get a second one. But that's not what you want for them. I think so. It's a personal opinion, by the way. But I mean, it's something that you guys have to explore. And it would help, not just the community grow, it would also help they themselves be a part of the community at the end of the day.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So Narine, I'll get back to you, then schedule a meeting. Probably Chami, Emma, and Dalito could attend, probably myself too. So I'll get back to Moses on that. Thank you very much. That's a very welcome idea. And I think Adam would really, really, really appreciate that. So thank you so much for today and for our next meeting also. Thank you for
All right,
leading. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.